Stu, big game Saturday, travel across London to Dagenham and Redbridge. You know, a side who was probably expected to do a lot better than what they have been so far this year, but what do you make of our prospects going into the match?
Yeah, look, I say it all along, I fancy us going into any game. I think we're hit a little bit with injuries at the minute. We're trying to strengthen, in the sense of strengthen the squad, so that, you know, we can cope with the injuries as we go. And we've been speaking with Rory and the board, and look, we're trying to make a few deals happen, like we said before a few weeks ago. We've been trying to make happen, but we just got to make sure that we bring the right players in to the club and that strengthen us in the right areas. So look, we're happy, we're confident. There's still confidence within the group. It's a big learning curve from us the other night, a game that we've got to learn from, all of us. And you go away, and it's something where you've got to aim to get to that level as a group. And hard to get there as a football club because of the infrastructure they got, but as a group on the pitch, that's something that we got to aim to get to. We've got a young, hungry squad with lads that want to be footballers, so that's the standard.
And does you sort of say you're trying to get players in over the line? Does that suggest that the 5 players out now are quite longer term than first feared?
Yeah, there's a few of them that are longer than what we initially thought. Speaking to the physio team, the initial date that they gave us has moved a bit. So, you know, we've just got to... It is what it is. Look, there's no point moaning and crying about it. It is what it is. We'll work with it. It gives other lads opportunities. It's just been a bit frustrating. It's all happened in the one area of the pitch. So it kind of decimates you in the middle of the pitch, which it does at the minute. But look, it's one of those things, and we'll keep going.
And see, what have you made of Dagenham this year? They've not probably hit the heights that were predicted in pre-season of them. Obviously, they signed Nick off us too. So you've got a lot of Arsenal and firepower financially in this division for a team in London.
Look, I think they're a top team. I don't think they're a million miles away from off the playoffs at the minute. I think it's 3 or 4 points off the playoffs. So for a team that's kind of had a slow start, once they get going, they're going to be right up there in the mix. I believe they'll be up there in the mix. The squad that they've got a lot of injuries at the minute. I think they've probably got 5 or 6 out, and some of them are key players for them. So, like, no matter who you are in this division, when you have your key players out, it hurts you no matter who you are. They've got a big squad, and they've got a good squad. I'd still look at their team that they've got in a minute, and that's why they're in the position they are, 3 or 4 points off the playoffs, because they've got a strong squad. And they've got good players everywhere. Daryl's done a great job there, and we're looking forward to the game. It's always a good game when we play each other. We played each other 3 times last season. They're all good footballing games and competitive games, so we're looking forward to it.
Paul McAdam was obviously one of their injuries. Does that make your sleep this week a little bit better?
No, because they've got Junior Marais and they've got Josh Walker. So they've got a strong firepower up top. So look, they've got top players all over the pitch, and it's a good game for us to go test ourselves. That's what it is. Every week it's a game, it's a test. It's a test for us as a management team tactically, and it's a test for the lads on the pitch to take the tactics on board and go and apply it within the game. So look, we're all looking forward to it as a group. As
good as the run was obviously at the start of the year that put us top, we've sort of had the opposite of that now with 5 straight defeats. But are you quite glad that the fans have been quite patient? See, they clapped you off Tuesday night in appreciation that we were up against a really good side. And I think, as you said at Dorking as well, I think the fans appreciated, you know, on another day we probably win that game as well. Is that really helpful for not yourself but the group? Yeah, 100%. I've said it pretty much from the start of the season when we were winning and losing. In this division, you can go lose 7 or 8 on the bounce, quite comfortable within this division. And top teams done it. Grimsby did it last season, where they come to us, they lost, and they didn't win in 8 or 9 games, and they kind of nearly they fell out of the playoffs, and they had to really dig deep and then find their form again. And that's what you have to do in this division. When it's going bad, you have to dig deep, because the fixtures come thick and fast. There's no easy games in this league. There's no fixtures that you can look at and say we can get 3 points there or we can get a point there. There's no games like that. Every game's tough and every game's tight. So look, we appreciate the fans. I think the fans have been unbelievable. It's a bit of a reality check to where we're at as a football club, especially the other night, into what we're up against in the firepower, in the resources and everything. But once we all stick together, we'll be okay, and that's the biggest key. As a football club, we've got to stick together and stick to the beliefs of what we are as a football club. I know we've got 2 tough away games before that, but as you said about the firepower, we've got Chesterfield and Wrexham the next 2 home games. I know you guys are very much one game at a time, but how important is it that we get a good atmosphere and really try and make it hostile and upset these teams? I think that's what we've done brilliantly. Since we've been in this division, we've made it hostile. No teams want to come and play there. You hear their manager after the game saying there's not many teams that are going to come here and get anything from Wealdstone. He knew that he was in moments within the game in a good game. I don't think
there's many teams within the division, like we watched pretty much all their games researching them, there's not many teams that create as many chances against them as what we did the other night. And that's the biggest thing within this division, and that's why Wrexham are paying the big bucks for the likes of Mullin and Palmer, because they need half chances, they don't need chances. Like, we created probably 5 or 6 really good chances within that game, and you know, we've got to take them. We've got to be more clinical, and like I said, we're a young group, they're learning, and the more they get in those areas, hopefully they take it on board and they start taking their chances, and then, you know, we can start winning games consistently.
And then we brought Charlie Barker back in from Charlton as well, player you're familiar with. He just said in there as well, he's kept in touch with you ever since his loan spell, and he was at Hemel at the start of the season. Well, how did he do there, and how are you looking forward? Do you think he's more of a player than when we signed him last year?
Yeah, look, I think he's improved. He's filled out now. He's starting to become a man. He's someone that we rated all along. He's one of those players that we wanted to sign again, but then other players have kind of come up in his position. So it was always a place away, but we rate him very high. He's a great lad. He fitted into our group so well last time. He's great about the place, and he's coming again, and he's excited. Like, he's excited to come to us, and that's what you want. You want players wanting to come to Wealdstone for the right reasons, and he is, and he believes in the group. He believes in what we're doing here, and in footballing sense, and he loves the fans. Like he said, like the atmosphere that they created when he was here, like he loved it. So, like, he's looking forward to playing in front of the fans again. We're looking forward to having him.
Perfect. Cheers for your time.
Top man, Christy boy.